Hey everyone, it's Apache here and welcome back to another episode of Enigmatica 2 Expert here on the CreedCraft server. Thank you very much for joining me today and continuing to show your support with the series. If you do enjoy this episode, please leave a like and a comment, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. Just before we do begin today, I have just now actually put up on my Twitter account a couple of pictures that I've taken of the real life minerals in Minecraft. So I said last episode about the rhodochrosite, so I posted a couple of pictures of a rhodochrosite, and I've also given a couple of bonus pictures of some obsidian and some quartz. Didn't have to go into the nether to go and gather it. It was in the middle of a mountain somewhere, God knows where. Don't know, no idea. But yeah, it was some obsidian, some quartz, and some rhodochrosite. Pictures up on Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter, it is at Apache Tech LP. So yeah, go down and support me on there. So a couple of things, well, a lot of things have changed actually around here since last episode. I just want to take you through some of what I've been doing. I've managed to gather myself up a couple of skeleton horses here. A group of the skeleton archers just happened to turn up on the roof up there. So I managed to kill those. I got 3 out of the 4 horses. One of the 4 horses is still... well, one of the 3 surviving horses is still up on the roof up there, and the other 2 are down here. So we'll be able to give at least one of these to Nathan, and be able to keep a couple of them for ourselves, which means we're going to have to get a stables on the go at some point. That kind of leads me into one of the things we're going to be doing this episode, is working out a future projects list and working out where we want to go in this series. Now, a couple of the other things, down here I've been gathering up all of my materials and resources and just trying to get myself organised a little bit. I've felt very disorganised in this. I've had a couple of different bases over there and over here, so now everything from over there is now in this building here, and I've increased the number of these things that I've got going. The water mills, probably not in the best configuration at the moment, but I think I'm going to use Biffa's configuration for these, which means building up a tower with 5 on one side and then 4 on the next layer and then 5 on the next layer, and so on and so forth. So I need a couple more of these to make that work, and then I just need to re-watch or re-find his video where I think it's BiffaCraft, where he made that first of all. So yeah, I've got to find that. He may have done it in Hermitcraft as well. Got to go back and find it and then make that tower. The next thing I've been doing is making a couple of screens from XG Utilities 2 as well, so that I can make this thing right here. If you remember in FTB Beyond, we made this on the very front of our house, of our starter house in that, and so it means actually from pretty far out you'll be able to see this, and you'll be able to see that this base is mine. So even from all the way over here you can still see my logo up there, the Apache logo up there, so that designates this is my building, my house, and my creation. So yeah, this is our base from now on. This is where we will be based. So what machines, what else have I done extra in here? Well, we've actually got some elevators from open blocks in here that will take us up and through the different levels. I didn't quite like having the ladders up the walls here, and it meant that I didn't have any way of getting easily into the basement. So we can come down here into the basement, and we can also go up to the top level. So bottom level first, I've made a ingot former and a pressurizer. They're the extra 2 machines we've got down here. So now we have the rock crusher, the fuel reprocessor, the manufactory, the alloy furnace, a melter, a fluid infuser, an isotope separator, an ingot former, and a pressurizer. And we also have room to expand here as well. Moving on up to the middle floor, to the ground floor here, I've just put the latex processing unit down here. Just if you remember, we had some pipes sticking up the back, and then on this side I have taken a couple of the pieces of flooring out here and extended some cable along here, but I ran out of cable there, so I'm gonna have to make some more of it. And so we've got a metallurgic infuser, we have the enrichment chamber, and we have the osmium compressor, and then finally we have a charge pad. And this charge pad, I needed desperately to actually get some charge back into my dark boots. So these are no longer losing durability because they are full now of charge. And if I stand on here, we managed to fill it all up. And there we go. And so because I've got this charge pad, I can now build one of the first end game items that we're going to be using. And so I'm really excited about this today. One of the things I said from beginning of this, something I used quite heavily actually in Hermit Pack, I believe it was the atomic disassembler. Now if we have a look at the atomic disassembler, let's just have a look at the recipe for this. So the atomic disassembler. Okay, so we have a lot going on in this recipe. It's all from mechanism, and it's all fairly simple once you actually have the infrastructure up and running. So let's just start with the most simple things, the enriched alloy. The enriched alloy is some iron and some redstone in a metallurgic infuser. We have a metallurgic infuser. And then the the refined obsidian ingot. This is in an osmium compressor, uses osmium ingots and refined obsidian dust. So we need to get this refined obsidian dust, but we do have an osmium compressor just over there. So this refined obsidian dust is simply in a metallurgic infuser, some diamond or diamond dust, compressed diamond, with some pulverized obsidian. We have pulverized obsidian, we have some diamond, and we have a metallurgic infuser. So that's okay as well. And then we need this atomic alloy. Now this atomic alloy we can do via in a metallurgic infuser, which of course we have, with some of that refined obsidian dust and reinforced alloy. And the reinforced alloy is some diamond with one of those enriched alloy. However, the much more simple way is to actually gather some of this via the loot chests. So we've got that already. And then the final thing here is this energy tablet. And this energy tablet is the enriched alloy, redstone and gold. And so we've already got all that as well. We've got gold, we've got those enriched things from there. So if I come up to here, and if we ignore everything else around here for now, we've gathered all of that up. And here we have an atomic disassembler. I'm really excited about this. I don't know if any of you have ever used one of these before. I'm sure you have. If you're watching this, you might be an old hand at a lot of this stuff. Probably better at it than me. If you can give me some tips, that'd be great. Let me know down in the comment section. But let's just head down into the mine here and just have a look just how crazy this thing is. Now if I remember rightly, we can shift and right click on it. So let's just go into, I don't know, let's just say around here somewhere. So this is slow mode. So yeah, great, it's not that big, not that good. So we can put all of that back. Let's just see how it is against cobblestone. Even a little bit slower. But now let's go into fast mode. Oh yes. We insta-mine cobble, we insta-mine stone, and we pretty much insta-mine a fair amount of different things with this. What I really want to do is find some, the ultimate test would be, I suppose, obsidian. So I assume if we head down to bedrock style way, then we should be able to find some. Let me find some obsidian and we'll see how fast this is with obsidian. So down here in the depths we do have some obsidian here. As I say, I don't know how fast this is going to be, but oh, that's actually really quite nice. I don't know what's underneath this obsidian either, but yeah, that's for obsidian, that's ridiculously fast. And of course, because we have vein miner, we can get rid of all of that and then plug this hole back up if we can. So there we go, we've got a nice fast way now of getting obsidian. and just of mining in general. I've actually got some uranium here, which is going to be nice and handy. We'll just gather up that while we're down here. And just on the way back, just show you just how fast this is. I can just walk with this, and it is Instamine. Brilliant. There is a couple of other modes on it if we have a look at those. We have vein. I don't know how big this vein is, or whether it just takes the entire vein. I think it only works on actual minerals, that. And then we actually have the option as well to turn it off, and so this just doesn't work at all. Everything is classed as bedrock in a way, because it won't mine. And now this off is basically a safe mode for it, so that you don't accidentally just mine through everything, and then you can just turn it on to fast mode when you need it. So one of the nice things about this atomic disassembler is that it is a one-stop shop, so it is just as effective cutting dirt as a shovel or wood as an axe as it is cutting stone as a pickaxe. So this is really a one-stop shop for all of our tool needs. So we may end up swapping it out for these in the interim. It's not the best one for the very end game, for complete end game use, mainly because it isn't really enchantable that much. The only enchantment you can get on it, basically the only augmentation you can put on it, is this smashing enchant. It's a new one I really haven't seen that much, and the actual description of it: harvested ores will be smashed to pieces, improving their yield. So I assume that means that it will drop the, was it the crushed stuff? So it'll drop these, 2 of these, rather than 1 of the ore. But I'm not sure, and I don't know how that will work with nether ores as well. So I may have to experiment with that. I might actually experiment with that in creative mode first, just to make sure I'm not wasting one of these in survival here. Anyway, up on the second floor here, you can see I have changed things around a little bit in here. We've moved the tinker's stuff over to over here, and I've started moving stuff into here and placing some things into the item frames. So we have all of our AE2 stuff here, all of our astral sorcery stuff, all of our Botania stuff, all of the tinker's stuff, all of the nuclear craft stuff, and then these 2 at the end are just full of junk basically, and then I've got all my ores and minerals and stuff in there. And then on this side I've made some storage drawers. We've got the big storage drawers on the top and the bottom, and then the middle we have the smaller ones there. So these can hold basically basic design of these is 8 stacks in each drawer, so we can have 64 stacks in total in one of these, and then 64 stacks in total in one of these as well. So I did have some cobblestone in there. I'm going to put the gravel in here, and I'm going to put sand and red sand, and then we're going to put other stuff in there. And then these ones will just fill up over time basically. I don't know where I want stuff, so I'm just going to fill it in as I get it and bring it back here and put it in. I will want obsidian somewhere, so we'll put that, why not there? So we can just put it in like that. So today I want to get a bit of perspective on what we're going to be doing for the rest of the series, or at least into the later game, because a lot of the later game is going to be just massive nested crafting and trying to get all the creative items. But where do we want to be up until that point? So I've got a few things that I want to talk about today in regards to the different mods. So the biggest things we need are, let's see how I can do this. Yep, up here. We're going to need power generation is important, which typically doesn't fit on a single line. So power generation. We need power distribution. We've done a lot on power generation, so I'm not going to really do too much on that. Just type this one. Distribution. Yeah, we're not going to go any further into power generation. We've got that sorted for now. We will eventually be probably working with Draconic Evolution, so basically I'm going to put underneath here the mods that we're going to be using. So then we have power distribution, and we also need power storage. So that is all of our power, and that's all the stuff we need for power. And then we're going to need the item storage, basically. So we have item storage. I should really call it digital storage, because that's what we're really talking about. So we have digital storage, and we also have, connected to that will be auto crafting, because auto crafting is a massive thing in this pack. We need to be working hugely with auto crafting for a lot of the stuff later on. And then we are going to need a couple of other things, say decorative. What kind of decorative mods? So decorative mods can go up here. We also going to need lighting. Lighting is a big thing which we're going to need, because I don't want to rely on torches too much. So power generation, we know we are going to use, for now we're going to use nuclear craft. So we have nuclear craft, but then later on we are definitely going to need to get in to Draconic Evolution. Evolution. So there's Draconic Evolution on that. So nuclear craft, probably leading into extreme reactors and then into Draconic Evolution. For power distribution, this is going to be really nice and simple. The one I love using is flux networks. So flux networks to get stuff to and from large networks. Wow, I can't spell. To and from large distances. So from our main power bank into wherever we need machines. And then locally, wherever we need those machines, we're probably going to need more than one machine in any one local network. And so we're going to use Ender.io. Now, I really do like using Ender.io, the cables within Ender.io. However, the cables within Ender.io do have their limits, and they are limited to 128,000 RF per tick throughput. So there is another mod we can use, which is Mechanism. And Mechanism has the ultimate cables, and they can transfer unlimited amounts of power from end to end. And so we can control, with flux networks, we can have unlimited amounts of power across massive distances and across dimensions. So if we were to create an RF tools dimension, and then we want to create a big quarry out in that dimension, we can do that. And even if that quarry uses 2 million RF per tick, we can get all of that power there with Mechanism and with flux networks. And then if we're backing that up with a Draconic Evolution Powerball, then we've got plenty enough power in order to do that. So power storage in that case, there's a couple of things we can use here for that. The capacitors within Ender.io are the ones that I would normally go with, and then follow that on with Draconic Evolution. I'm just going to call that DE. We know what Draconic Evolution is. So they are the two main big ones that I've used before, I'm comfortable with. I know how they work, I know how to use them, I know how to build them, and I know the lag busting with them as well. Because a lot of the problems we've had in the past with the Ender.io capacitors are that they weren't optimized, they were being used incorrectly. So long as we actually optimize them, use them in the best possible way, then they don't actually cause too much lag at all, and we can use them to their best full effect. There are also a couple of other mods we can use, and I do want to have a look at Nuclear Craft to see what they have in the way of the end game, or closer to end game, massive power storage, because I also want to have a look at the fusion reactor within Nuclear Craft as well, and so that'll go into the power generation. I want to have a look at fusion reactor, and then how we store all of the energy coming out of the fusion reactor. It must have something which is a massive power bank, similar to Draconic Evolution. So next we have digital storage. This is going to be a very, very easy one because I don't think that refined storage is in here. No, it's not. So this is going to be applied energistics. So that's, I'm not even going to bother trying. That's AE2. And that's it. That's all we need. There are different options. There is the XNet, there is the indexer, there is the RF tools stuff, but they are all so complicated, so convoluted. And one of the things I love about applied energistics and about refined storage, although it isn't in this pack, is that it's such an elegant system. And this is something I've said all the time in Minecraft, especially in modded Minecraft. I like the elegant solutions. I like the ones that just make sense, the ones that just work. And AE2 is exactly that. It just works. You can understand it, you can understand why it works, and everything is there. But I also want to add to that something which I really do want to work with a lot, and this is going to tie into pretty much everything, because I class with digital storage as the main hub of everything that we're going to be doing, and it ties everything else together, and that is open computers. Now, I've said this in a lot of different packs. I really want to get started in open computers, but by the time we've got to it, the series has dried up and it hasn't really got anywhere. I did a little bit of it in FTB Beyond, but I didn't really put much of it on camera. So we're going to be using open computers a lot. It's going to be very useful for the power generation, for draconic evolution. It's going to be very useful for nuclear craft. It's going to be really useful for mechanism. And one of the things we could do is make the mechanism fusion reactor. We can try that as well, but we can do the 5 times or quintupling with mechanism, and control that all through open computers. And with AE2 especially, you can work out limits, and you can pass items from places to places, you can pass power from places to places, you can pass fluids from places to places, all via open computers. And then one of the best things with that is I can open it up with an internet card in the computer that we build in Minecraft. I can then control Minecraft from my real life website, and so I can put up statistics of how much power is in my Minecraft base up on my website, and I can even put buttons on there for you guys to mess with stuff and to turn on and off my power, and you can turn on and off lights in my base and stuff like that, just by going onto my website. And that's something I really, really, really want to set up and try and work through, and I will desperately try to get to that in this series, because I really wanted to do it in Hermit Pack, I really wanted to do it in FTB Beyond, and didn't have a chance at all to do it in Sevtech. So yeah, hopefully this series I'll try and make a promise to you now to get onto that. And then auto crafting, I think we know exactly what that's going to be. That is AE2. However, we're going to need to really look at that in some big ways, because there is a massive amount of stuff to be able to auto craft in this. Hugely nested crafting recipes, which require tons and tons of resources and many different recipes. I think there was one recipe I counted for like a single ingot, but we need many of. We need probably thousands of these ingots. Can't remember what it is yet, but I did see it. And one of those, just for a single ingot, requires over 35 other nested recipes to be able to create that one ingot. So in the AE2 creative, well, in the storage part of that, we're going to need to create 35 separate recipes in order to create that single one ingot, which is then used in other recipes. So yeah, massive, crazy nested crafting for that. And then over here we have the decorative mods and the lighting. I really need to have a look at this in more detail. I don't know what mods are here, and so I want you guys to tell me what really cool decorative mods are in this pack. I know there's things like rustic and random things, quark. There's some really cool stuff like that, and there is the chisel and bits and chisel. There's all of the obvious ones, and decocraft and bibliocraft. is there anything in this pack which I haven't used before and wouldn't know of? Is there anything new that you want me to use? And the same goes with lighting. I really want to use some really elegant, probably even hidden lighting within this series, and I want to make it look really, really cool. And I want to make some modern builds, I want to make some fantasy builds, I want to make some, I don't know, evil type looking builds for the blood magic and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a lot of different types and different genres of building that we're going to be making, which all need different lighting styles. So I want you guys to come up as well with different lighting options, different mods with different lighting options. And I think that is pretty much it. I mean, this is the biggest stuff we're going to need. I suppose we can add in arms and armour, but again, that mainly comes under Draconic Evolution. A lot of the late game stuff comes under Draconic Evolution, if I'm honest. And a lot of it will come through organically anyway, because we're going to have to go through the ore miners within environmental tech. We're going to have to go through the all of the stuff with environmental tech, which means we can make the nano beacon, which means we'll never really need to eat again, and we'll have regeneration 2 wherever we are, and we can have creative flight wherever we are. And a lot of that stuff is just going to come out naturally. We're going to need to be able to do it to be able to get to the later stuff. So yeah, let me know which route you want me to go down, and whether I've got any of this stuff completely wrong. Is there anything else other than AE2 which I'm completely missing out on because I'm brand loyal to AE2? Am I too brand loyal to Draconic Evolution for the late game? Let me know what you think. But I think that is where we're going to leave it today. Thank you very much for joining me today. If you did enjoy this episode, please leave a like, comment and subscribe on the video and to the channel, and I will see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting me by subscribing to the channel and liking and commenting on the videos. Thanks. See you next time.